Can't beat us.
Scan the QR code or visit RealAmericasVoice.com. Real America's Voice presents The Sleeping Giant. Available now.
Terrence Bates here with your Real America's Voice news break. Thanks for being here with us. The death of the leader of Mexico's Jalisco New Generation cartel at the hands of Mexican military has set off a deadly and brutal rampage from cartel members. The group is said to be Mexico's most powerful drug cartel, and cartel members are blamed for burning cars, blocking roads in more than 20 Mexican states, and storming at least one airport, setting a plane there on blaze. At last check, at least 25 Mexican National Guard members were killed in the operation. The deceased cartel leader, known as El Mencho, was a top target of the Mexican and U.S. governments because he was one of the top fentanyl traffickers into the U.S. As RAV correspondent Oscar Ramirez reports, the U.S. provided intelligence support to the Mexican government to help find El Mencho.
Where Nemesio Oseguera, El Mencho, the guy that was gunned down, had a lot of power and a lot of presence. This escalated into the north cities and the north borders that connect to the United States of America. One of them, it is the city that I am located in Tijuana, where more than 20 incidents have been, noticeable. And that incidents, what do I mean by incidents? Burning not also of automobiles, but also at businesses, pharmacies, and these kind of oxos that they are, they can resemble as a 7-Eleven. Yesterday, I reported on the ground of 4 vehicles that they were burned. One of them was concerning. They burned a pickup truck in front of the border wall that is just steps away from the United States authority. I also said this is a national security issue. Why? Because these cartel members, they burned this vehicle in front of the border wall, but they have cameras of the United States government. So they want to let the United States government know that they're actually doing this on the purpose to unstabilize the security of the citizens of Mexico and to send a great message to the United States authorities that they still have presence on these communities and these neighborhoods. Under the Biden administration, the cartel grew 2 times bigger, 2 times stronger on territory, on land, financially, and in technology. And we're seeing the result of that because of the negligence of the Biden administration. Who would ever thought in Tijuana that the Cartel Jalisco New Generation had this enormous presence? A lot of these studies and the intelligence of the Intelligence Department of Mexico, they thought that the Sinaloa cartel was the one that it was in charge of the state of Baja California. But now we know that it's completely the contrast and the opposite. And this is because of the negligence of the Biden administration that provided this cartel to have this enormous power. You can see it actually on their technology and their weaponry. And they have a lot of presence inside of the United States of America. This is a national security issue on both sides of the aisle. Inside of the United States of America, they need to start securing their borders and being on the lookout for drone attacks and possibly, some kind of not of an attack, but an approach by the organized crime and the cartel to near the border. And it's a national security issue. Also, at the end of the day, for Mexico, they need to provide security for Mexican citizens and for American tourists that they're located on the other side.
We'll have much more on the developing situation in Mexico throughout the day here on Real America's Voice. In the meantime, the weather here in the northeast of the United States turning out to be a big story as well this week. New York, all the way north to Massachusetts, dealing with blizzard conditions. This is video out of New York. Look at this. Let's take this full screen, guys, if we can. The National Weather Service projecting up to 2 feet of snow in some areas. More than 500,000 customers are dealing with power outages. That number, by the way, includes more than 212,000 people in Massachusetts and 128,000 in New Jersey. Look at this snow that continues to fall. Weather Nation meteorologist Patrick Crawford has the very latest.
Weather Nation meteorologist Patrick Crawford here, tracking the nor'easter impacting the northeastern United States. A look from earlier on Monday, some of the thunder snow that was happening out in New York City. And then we get out into Deptford, New Jersey, tracking that intense snow. Look at how high that snow was when it came to the accumulation on some of those vehicles. We've seen feet of accumulation that we've been tracking across these areas. Those numbers, they have been huge. And then on top of the heavy snow, there's been so much wind. That's a nor'easter. That is the setup that we've been dealing with. So we have widespread power outages that have been happening all along the Atlantic seaboard. Blizzard warnings continuing all the way into this afternoon and evening from the coast of Maine all the way down into southern Delaware. You can see that forecast showing the snow lingering all the way through this Monday, and as that low continues to push east, all the impacts will start to diminish. That's the very latest from here at Weather Nation.
Exactly what they're doing. They want to steal the election. We're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, and we're going to the Capitol. They need to take back our country.
Events in Washington have taken a violent and tumultuous turn.
January 6th wasn't just a moment in history. From the farms to the factories, from small towns to city streets, this is the fight for the soul of our nation.
We're watching Democrats attack democracy. Do not be fooled.
The strength, the grit, the greatness of the American spirit, all right here.
The left wanted power, not peace, but there's a resistance rising. A generation saying enough, enough. We've tried it their way, and it failed.
The Steve Gruber Show with your host, Steve Gruber, starts right now.
And welcome to it with a special edition live from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., where later tonight Donald Trump will deliver his State of the Union. More on that in just a moment. Fighting for you from the foxhole of freedom, no matter where we are. Here are three big things you need to know. Number one, the cleanup is underway following the massive snowstorm that dumped more than 2 feet in some places along the eastern seaboard, including crippling New York City. Yes, it's another snow day for the kids. Number two, the American hockey team landed to more applause in Miami Monday as they're gearing up for their big night in D.C. They are headed to the State of the Union address tonight. We'll tell you about that. And number three, let's get to it. There can no longer be any doubt that Trump's decision to designate the cartels as terrorist organizations was an accurate description for those in Mexico. Violence erupting across that nation after Mexican authorities took out El Mencho. He was a drug lord who serves as the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. The extent of the violence just coming into view. A report from the center of the storm indicates that more than 24 Mexican soldiers killed by the cartels, and the body count still rising. At the time of his death, El Mencho was the most wanted man in Mexico. He had a $15 million bounty on his head from the United States. White House says our intelligence helped capture El Mencho, who died from injuries he sustained during a shootout with one of the authorities trying to capture him. The Kingpin's death was a step in the right direction, but it has unleashed massive violence across the nation and showcased just how vulnerable Mexico is to the cartel's power. This is from the Guadalajara airport, one of Mexico's busiest airports. It serves as a hub for international travel for tourists. It was overrun by cartel gunmen. Listen to this. Complete chaos is what it was in the streets. We turn our attention now to scenes from Puerto Vallarta, a resort town, a common destination for tourists. These places should be among the safest in Mexico. But when the cartels decided to retaliate for El Mencho's killing, it all became a death zone very quickly. This is what any one of our major cities could look like if we had left our borders wide open under another Democrat president. These are the kind of criminals that leftists are actually trying to shield from ICE and deportation. Criminals that have organized into paramilitary units like this one. These guys have more tactical advantage than much of Mexico's law enforcement agencies and even the Mexican army. They've declared war on America since their inception, too. And Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum has routinely rebuffed Trump's offers for help in fighting back against the cartels. This weekend's operation was a rare show of cooperation, one that I hope will continue. But in the event that it does not, America must be prepared to wipe these cartels out completely once and for all. El Mencho might be dead, but many more just like him will just simply spring up in his place. And there are many more cartel leaders out there that they'll just consider it business as usual. In fact, they might see it as an opportunity. Representatives Tim Burchett and Senator Mike Lee have a unique answer to this problem. Listen.
It's actually provided for in the Constitution that the president can get privateers, and it's happened throughout history a few times. I believe they went after the Barbary pirates, which later became the United States Marine Corps. I believe what happened there, and what it does is allows the president to hire privateers, and these would be, like I said before, they're not going to go down here to Roosters on North Shore or Toddy's Backdoor Tavern on Kingston Pike and sign people up. They're going to go get first-tier operators, former SEALs, former airborne rangers, folks like that, Marines, because you can't send our military into another country unless they're has been ordained by their government to for their military to attack us or threaten us or our civilians. So what you're seeing is a cartel. It's a private entity, allegedly. But anyway, that's a bill that needs to pass. It's called Letters of Marque, and the president could basically send these folks down there and get our folks, and it'd be very efficient, I feel like, and you wouldn't have to ask Congress for every bullet and every rifle.
Yeah, there you have it. A full-on assault against Mexican cartels. We still probably need some kind of Mexican cooperation, privateer or not. But I think we can all agree that something has to be done. These cartels are running Mexico. The Mexican Federal Police Force has proven to be no match for the cartel organizations and their firepower. But these cartel leaders would have no idea what hit them if a Hellfire missile was sent their way or a Predator drone. The cartel, whose leader was just killed, is one of the foremost manufacturers and traffickers of fentanyl into the United States. They're going to continue that operation, whether El Mencho is their leader or not, unless we do something about it. That's the bottom line. And the White House drug czar Sarah Carter says the cartel's days are numbered one way or another. Here's what she says.
President Trump has been very clear. The cartel's days are numbered. It's over for them. I've made this very clear myself. President Sheinbaum understands this. This is no secret. And I think the cooperation, we're seeing cooperation now. We know that President Sheinbaum and President Trump have a good relationship. They have spoken a number of times. I think the pressure right now on her and her government to work as well to clean up the cancer that has infected the Western Hemisphere. President Trump was very clear with one of the best operations we have ever seen our Department of War conduct, which was extracting Maduro and getting him out of Venezuela. And now we're cleaning up the Western Hem. And Claudia Sheinbaum is going to be a part of that. Now, that's going to take some negotiating. But I can tell you this, President Trump has said this, bilateral, unilateral. We're going to do it if they don't.
In a perfect world, Mexico takes responsibility for this mess. But 200 Americans or more die every day from fentanyl. That's just fentanyl. We've got a lot of stake in this game, a lot of skin in this game. And if we're going to play, it's got to be to win. Speaking of wins, President Trump will be highlighting everything he's done for the Americans in the last year and what he plans to do in the future. At the State of the Union address starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time tonight, we'll have full coverage beginning on Real America's Voice at 7 o'clock. The Mexican operation going to provide the perfect opportunity for the president to really drive home just how important it has been for the American people that he closed our borders to the invasion of illegals. There has not been a single illegal alien released into this country for at least 9 months, which is an extreme turnaround from the Biden administration, who released upwards of 7 million illegals into our country, which says nothing about how many million more were unknown gotaways. A lot to talk about. A lot to talk about when it comes to blue cities, sanctuary cities and states and places that the American people reject. It's all coming up tonight, State of the Union. I'll continue this conversation in just a moment. Good Tuesday morning to you. This is The Steve Gruber Show.
Exactly what they're doing. They want to steal the election. We're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, and we're going to the Capitol. They need to take back our country.
Events in Washington have taken a violent and tumultuous turn.
January 6th wasn't just a moment in history. For thousands of Americans, it was the moment their voices were taken.
It's insurrection.
They were persecuted, hunted.
Seditious conspiracy.
But behind prison walls, something unexpected happened. They found their voice again.
Started singing the national anthem.
We took it up to him at Mar-a-Lago. He goes, I'll put my voice on it.
Our supporters made this go platinum.
Real America's Voice is telling the real story of January 6th like you've never seen it before.
Everybody, this must be peaceful.
This is not the story you were shown.
I take responsibility.
This is the story they live.
Government entrapment scheme that this actually was.
The J6 Patriots are no longer staying silent. They are speaking, they are standing, and they are telling the truth.
You can't kill us. You can't beat us.
Scan the QR code or visit RealAmericasVoice.com. Real America's Voice presents The Sleeping Giant. Available now.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shop. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
We were prosecuted, persecuted.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again. Every dollar you give is being matched up to $50,000. Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
Florida Sun Goddess here. Let me tell you why I love RAV. They let my voice be heard. They give me a platform for community so I don't feel alone. Thanks so much. God bless.
My name is TJ Ash from Carbonville, Utah. Real America's Voice lets me express my conservative views without censorship or edit.
I expect President Trump to defend ICE and its operations across our nation tonight as they attempt to remove those millions of people who pose a security risk to Americans every day. As leftists demonize the agents trying to protect them, immigration enforcement has been one of the key wins of this administration, which is fitting since it was one of his key promises over and over again on the campaign trail. The economy will likely also take center stage with a focus expected on consumer spending, job creation, manufacturing growth, and efforts to reduce prices and energy costs as Americans continue to see massive tax refunds hit their bank accounts over the next couple of months. The stock market has been a successful marker for the president as well, and his Trump accounts ensure that the wins in the stock market actually benefit the next generation or two or three. I know Americans will be interested to hear what further steps his administration has planned to bring costs down even further. I also expect President Trump to bring up foreign policy, primarily America's return as a dominant force on the global stage, especially in our handling of our hemisphere, like Venezuela and Cuba and the ongoing conflicts in Iran and between Russia and Ukraine. This will all be underscored by Trump's most recent invitation to the address. The United States men's hockey team, which dominated the competition in Italy over the weekend, winning our first gold medal in 46 years, first since 1980. And they are more than happy to represent this great nation and our president. It will be a good moment. Here's a preview.
I tell you what, I just told my people 2 minutes ago, I didn't know they'd be calling. I said, we're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something. But if you would like to, it's the coolest night, it's the biggest.
We're in.
Yeah.
Can you pick us up in Miami on Tuesday morning? Yeah, Tuesday morning.
Close the northern border. We'll get cash and we'll get the military to get you guys over.
Let's go.
Boys are going to the State of the Union.
Yeah, they're in all right. Absolutely in. That's the way you should celebrate American gold, right there. Celebrate America. No question on when the American men's hockey team stands. But you know who won't be there? A bunch of Democrats who plan to act like petulant children and boycott or walk out during the speech. It's so predictable. And it's so petty that it's got even Democrat Stephen Smith ticked off. Here's what he said.
The president of the United States is going to give his State of the Union address, and the Democrats got other plans. So some are talking about walking out in the middle of his speech. Others are talking about boycotting it altogether and essentially finding something else to do. I'm here to tell you that neither is acceptable. Neither should be acceptable. But you know what I have? I have common sense. I have decency. I have respect for the office even when or if I didn't respect the individual. Because I would understand it as a representative, whether it be that as a representative or a senator in the United States of America. Guess what? I have a constituency to answer to. And I have people who need me, who I represent. And whether I like it or not, this individual is in office until 2028. And I got to find a way to do business with him in order to get something done.
Yeah, Democrat Senator John Fetterman does plan to be in attendance. He's a reasonable voice during unreasonable times, he says. Here he is.
So, I try to be a reasonable voice in really unreasonable times. And now that's where I'm at. And I do plan to go to the State of the Union. Mm-hmm. And I do hope all the other Democrats that choose to come, that we don't do the same kinds of things that happened at the last year. It was really undignified. And just the thing, no, I don't care who the president is. Don't yell and disrupt that. It's like you really should respect the office. You don't have to like the occupant, but respect that. And that's, we should be better than that. So for me, as a Democrat, it's just calling balls and strikes. And I'm always going to pick country over party.
Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we had a few more politicians who would do the same thing, choose country over party? We might actually be able to get something done around here. As President Trump steps up to the podium tonight for the State of the Union, it's going to be a straight-up victory lap for America. Borders locked down, no illegal releases in 9 months, a huge turnaround from the Biden mess. He'll hammer home how taking out guys like El Mencho is saving lives and keeping fentanyl off the American streets. Expect big talks on jobs exploding, tax refunds, hitting wallets, stocks soaring, and those Trump accounts setting up the next generation for success. He'll flex on foreign policy wins, too. Our backyard, global stage, you name it, while the gold medal hockey boys sit front row repping the red, white, and blue. This isn't just a speech. It's proof America First is working. Again, you can see it all right here on Real America's Voice beginning at 7 o'clock. All right? I'll be part of the team there at the Capitol. I'll be in Statutory Hall, which I'm excited to do. I've never done this before. I'm on location for you. I was able to get in despite all the snow, so we're in pretty good shape. You won't want to miss this one. All right? And then, of course, we'll have a complete review tomorrow here on the Steve Gruber Show. Tired of taking vitamins that don't seem to work? Protovite is a breakthrough liquid. It's a formula designed to absorb quickly so your body actually uses it. When we say multivitamin, we mean it. Over 100 nutrients, including B vitamins, amino acids, zinc, and plant extracts, and you get daily support for energy, focus, and immune health. Only from Victory Nutrition International. Nutrition that gets in. Start your mornings like we do with Protovite and feel the difference. You'll get 20% off today, and when you subscribe, you get 20% off and free shipping forever, for life. VNI.life/Gruber, the promo code Gruber. Listen, when we talk about health on this program, we mean it. I only talk about products that we actually use. And Ivy did the deep dive research on this one. She looked for all sorts of vitamin companies, found this one, made a call, and we made a deal. So the deal is for you. 20% off today, and if you become a subscriber, 20% off and free shipping for life. Again, VNI.life/Gruber. The promo code is Gruber. I'll take a break and be right back. Live from Washington, this is The Steve Gruber Show.
The world doesn't slow down because you're tired. And weakness gets exposed. That's why the best take Go Pills. Born for military performance, built for high-pressure days when your brain has to move faster than the chaos. This is neurotransmitter support, helping your mind fire clean signals so you can process data fast, decide fast, and stay locked in when it matters. Packed with safe, proven ingredients designed to boost cognitive performance so you stay sharp under pressure. The most badass military in the world uses this kind of energy every day. Now you can too. From training to eliminate America's enemies to smoke-checking terrorists, Go Pills keep the mission fueled. Real world tested by high-level tactical communities. Now available to you. Greenlight the beast inside. Pop a Go Pill. Scan the QR code or go to GoPills.com and use promo code RealAmerica for 15% off.
So here's a strange twist, a very strange twist on the Nancy Guthrie case. We got all those FBI images and Ring doorbell footage. But it was just revealed yesterday, first by ABC News and then by others, that some of the footage, some of the pictures we saw, not from the night that Nancy disappeared. This is a big deal. It seems to indicate that the perpetrator, the assailant, the criminal here, was casing the place well in advance. In fact, the folks there, law enforcement, been asking neighbors to check their home security systems for the entire month of January. The entire month, right? The night of January 11th specifically, and the hours around the time that Nancy Guthrie disappeared. But this is appearing more and more. It was not random. But what was it? Not a kidnapping for ransom, clearly, because they never contacted the family. This is a strange deal here, folks, a strange deal. And the fact that the FBI and other law enforcement didn't tell us, or we didn't find out, I don't know if they told us exactly or meant to, but didn't find out that the images weren't from the night she disappeared. No. They were from different days, maybe January the 11th being a day they're looking at. So maybe the place was cased out weeks in advance. What a concern that would be, obviously, right? That would be a big concern because that means that this was a preset play. All right? Something else for you here to make sure you're doing well. Longevity Wellness simplifies your routine with an all-in-one nutritional shake that supports joints, brain health, digestion, and immune function. It tastes great, it's easy, and it's built for real life. All you have to do is go to longevitywellness.co. Use the promo code Gruber for an exclusive listener discount. Again, this is the shake that provides support if you're an athlete, if you're on a weight loss program, want to make sure you maintain muscle and bone, or if you're older. and just want to make sure you're getting the nutrition you need every day. LongevityWellness.co. Again, when you become a subscriber to these products, you save even more money. LongevityWellness.co. The promo code, of course, Gruber. I'll take a break and be right back. It is the Steve Gruber Show on a Tuesday.
The world doesn't slow down because you're tired. And weakness gets exposed. That's why the best take Go Pills. Born for military performance, built for high-pressure days when your brain has to move faster than the chaos. This is neurotransmitter support, helping your mind fire clean signals so you can process data fast, decide fast, and stay locked in when it matters. Packed with safe, proven ingredients designed to boost cognitive performance so you stay sharp under pressure. The most badass military in the world uses this kind of energy every day. Now you can too. From training to eliminate America's enemies to smoke-checking terrorists, Go Pills keep the mission fueled. Real world tested by high-level tactical communities. Now available to you. Greenlight the beast inside. Pop a Go Pill. Scan the QR code or go to gopills.com and use promo code REALAmerica for 15% off. Now is the moment to put your brand in front of an engaged, loyal audience through Real America's Voice. When you advertise on Real America's Voice, you're not just running an ad, you're partnering with trusted voices like Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and other influential hosts. Backed by millions of monthly listeners.
What's happening? Because of a Real Voice, man. I watch it all the time.
Real America's Voice rocks.
Real America's Voice gives sponsors the chance to put their product front and center, displayed on screen and highlighted by our anchors during exclusive segments and live events.
Head to freetrumpknife.com.
This means your brand becomes part of the conversation as it happens.
Secure your spot before it's too late.
Join us today and make your brand part of the news conversation that America's viewers trust. Real America's Voice, where your message is seen, heard, and remembered.
This is Tim King, also known as USS Malik, and I love Real America's Voices for its like-minded programming and the chat. Love you guys.
Hi, Pat, from Muskegon, Michigan. Why do you love Rav?
Because we've become family. All those Rav live chatters and me.
This is Diane from Rhode Island. Why do I love Real America's Voice? Because they deliver us facts from hosts who love America and love God. What's not to like?
All right, let's jump back into it, shall we? A lot to talk about during tonight's State of the Union address. Obviously, this near civil war in Mexico after the murder of El Mencho by Mexican police and military triggered an uprising in Mexico, underscoring Donald Trump's assertion that Mexico isn't run by Claudia Sheinbaum. It's run by the cartels. Hard to argue with when you see the kind of firepower they have. We're going to hear about what's going on with Iran, Venezuela, Cuba, but really it comes down to, can people pay their bills? That's going to be the main focus tonight, I believe, is going to be the economy and how you as an average American can make sure you make the month work when it comes to paying the bills. Joining me is Tim Murtaugh, a Trump 2024 senior advisor and Trump 2020 comms director. Tim, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Steve. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Now, one of these things that has been front and center in conversation for a long time, of course, is health care. And I believe that the president will likely take some time talking about health care. He's talked about health savings accounts. He's talked about health associations, where the best example I heard came from Rand Paul, where he said if you took Costco and its 44 million members and let that group of people negotiate with United Health or Blue Cross, you get a far better deal than me and my wife fighting against the insurance companies trying to find a coverage plan that would work for us. How important is health care in the conversation tonight to you?
Oh, it's hugely important, I think, because, for most people, it is an economic issue. And President Trump is going to be proud of the American economy, proud of his tax cuts, proud of the growth, proud of wages rising, proud of the fact that gas prices are down and interest rates are starting to come down. Mortgage rates are below 6% for the first time since 2022. But health insurance, I think, is something that President Trump has really prioritized and wants to bring down the costs of. Because what's been going on with health insurance, and everyone knows this, most everybody has experienced this, is that premiums keep rising in price at the same time that coverage keeps getting worse. It's like if this happens, Steve, in the banking industry, and people spent their entire lives putting money into the bank every single month. And then when you went to try to gain access to your money, the bank said, nah, sorry, we don't exactly have that for you today. That's exactly what is happening with health insurance. People have paid their premiums month after month after month, and then they go to access their health coverage and they get denied. If that happened at a bank, there would be a run on banks. If they said you can't have your money, there would be a huge economic crisis. That is precisely what's happening in health insurance. And President Trump is right to prioritize this. He's been calling these health insurance CEOs on the carpet. Something's got to give.
Yeah. It's remarkable, honestly, Tim. Through Obamacare, we send our money directly to the insurance companies, the ones that say no when you submit a claim. Right. The last year I saw information for 2024, fully half of the people enrolled in Obamacare made no claims whatsoever. None. But the insurance companies kept all of that money. This is a fraud upon the American people, and that's why I say these health savings accounts where people can direct their own health care coverage and how they pay for it with a fiduciary so that they will go spend it on something else, or health care associations. These are good ideas. The Republicans really need a plan for health care, I believe, in the next few weeks so they can campaign on the idea of saving the American people money and giving them better coverage. I think this is critical to the conversation tonight. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And I think President Trump and the Republicans have all talked about really good elements of the plan. You touched on it. More people are employed by small businesses in this country than any place else as a group. We ought to be allowing small businesses to band together and achieve economies of scale in health insurance for sure. Because take a look at what the giants of healthcare have been doing. United Health is the largest health insurance company in the world. And Senator Charles Grassley has revealed what they've been doing. They have been actually rigging the Medicare Advantage system. They know that if they have a lot of patients who are diagnosed with much more serious illnesses, they get bigger lump sum payments for each patient who's diagnosed with a more serious ailment. So they force and push and get these increased diagnoses. They get bigger lump sum payments through Medicare Advantage from the federal taxpayers to United Health. It amounts to tens of billions of dollars in upcharges that United Health gets to keep because they had people wrongly classified with more serious illnesses. It's insane. They're doing the same thing. They're supposed to be passing on any discounts or rebates they get on drugs, pass them on to the consumers, but they don't. They've created these cutout middleman companies, these shell companies, where they park those rebates, what are supposed to be rebates to the customers, they park them in there and they start calling them fees. And they keep them, and they never pass on the savings on drugs to consumers. It's insanity. That is the kind of stuff that has to stop.
Well, here's the other thing that really makes people wildly angry, Tim. That is, they go see their doctor if they can get in. They get their 7 minutes on average with their doctor who says, all right, I want to prescribe you this. And then they go down to the pharmacy, and the pharmacy says, well, we need pre-approval on that. I don't know if we can do that. When the insurance companies are telling patients what health care they get and don't get, that's wrong. If a doctor says, this is what you need, this is my expertise, this is my best guess as how to treat whatever your situation is, and the insurance companies block it, that's wrong, isn't it?
It is wrong, and that's really the serious situation. That's what most people have identified as the biggest problem with their health insurance is getting denied. And again, it's like a bank. If you went to the bank and said, give me my money, and they said no, you would freak out, and I think most people would, and there would be a run on banks. Health insurance companies do this every single day, and they are in bed. It's an unholy alliance with the Democrats in Congress, as I'm sure you know, Steve. You know, these health insurance companies that got everything that they wanted from Obamacare, billions of dollars straight to them from the taxpayers, courtesy of the Democrats. Under the poorly named Biden Inflation Reduction Act, same drill. Democrats sent the health insurance companies everything they wanted. And you know what? Sometimes the health insurance companies repay the favor, Steve. Prop 50 in California, which is Gavin Newsom's scheme to get rid of Republicans in Congress, you know, toss them out and redraw the California congressional map. Guess who helped underwrite the costs of the promotional campaign for that? You got it. Health insurance companies led by United Health, biggest health insurance company in the world, helping Gavin Newsom throw Republicans out of Congress as payback for all the billions of dollars that Democrats have sent them over the years. It is insanity. Yeah. Again, I say President Trump is right to get his arms around this.
Yeah, a system that's rigged against the average citizen. The good news on that one, Tim, is that case out of Louisiana in front of the Supreme Court. We could get a decision on that today or tomorrow, maybe. It might wait till June. That would freeze California's ability to redistrict, which is good news. Virginia as well. We'll see how that case comes out. Obviously, he's probably going to talk about tariffs as well. Those will be big conversations, speaking of the Supreme Court. But health care front and center, it is an affordability question for the American people. They need better coverage, and they need better treatment. 20 seconds, last word to you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really very important, not only is it an economic issue, but it's an issue of survival. It's an issue of health and well-being for a lot of Americans. And health insurance companies, those people who are supposed to be helping people on that path, in fact, they're an obstacle. They're a burden. They're a hurdle to try to get over. It's backwards. It's not the way it should be.
An expensive one at that. Yeah, an expensive hurdle at that. Tim Murtaugh, nice to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take a break and be right back. This is the Steve Gruber Show, a special edition live from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.
The world doesn't slow down because you're tired. And weakness gets exposed. That's why the best take Go Pills. Born for military performance, built for high-pressure days when your brain has to move faster than the chaos. This is neurotransmitter support, helping your mind fire clean signals so you can process data fast, decide fast, and stay locked in when it matters. Packed with safe, proven ingredients designed to boost cognitive performance so you stay sharp under pressure. The most badass military in the world uses this kind of energy every day. Now you can too. From training to eliminate America's enemies to smoke-checking terrorists, Go Pills keep the mission fueled. Real world tested by high-level tactical communities. Now available to you. Greenlight the beast inside. Pop a Go Pill. Scan the QR code or go to gopills.com and use promo code REALAmerica for 15% off. Now is the moment to put your brand in front of an engaged, loyal audience through Real America's Voice. When you advertise on Real America's Voice, you're not just running an ad, you're partnering with trusted voices like Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and other influential hosts. Backed by millions of monthly listeners.
What's happening? Because of a real voice, man. I watch it all the time.
Real America's Voice rocks.
Real America's Voice gives sponsors the chance to put their product front and center, displayed on screen and highlighted by our anchors during exclusive segments and live events.
Head to freetrumpknife.com.
This means your brand becomes part of the conversation as it happens.
Secure your spot before it's too late.
Join us today and make your brand part of the news conversation that America's viewers trust. Real America's Voice, where your message is seen, heard, and remembered.
This is Tim King, also known as USS Malik, and I love Real America's Voices for its like-minded programming and the chat. Love you guys.
Hi, Pat from Muskegon, Michigan. Why do you love Rav?
Because we've become family. All those Rav live chatters and me.
This is Diane from Rhode Island. Why do I love Real America's Voice? Because they deliver us facts from hosts who love America and love God. What's not to like?
You know, I don't know if the groundhog was right or wrong. You know, I don't put much faith in rats when it comes to weather prognostication. But, you know, look, I can tell you this. We skied all weekend in northern Michigan, Ivy and I did. When we left southern Michigan, there was no snow. When we got back, there was snow everywhere, lots of it. And for the folks on the East Coast, man, they're still digging out 7 states in state of emergency because of heavy snow and cold. Boy, don't you wish you had the right gear. Having the right gear is key to enjoying your winter experience. If you're going to enjoy it, you might as well enjoy it in comfort. That's where Muskox comes in. It's the best flannel shirt you're ever going to own. Brad Hoos founded Muskox in Detroit, Michigan a few years ago. He joins me now. He set out to create the greatest flannel shirt ever. He succeeded. He gets accolades everywhere, including from Team Gruber, because I'm going to tell you right now, Anthony has his on. I wear mine every day. Brad, nice to see you again. And as you look out and you see it snowing again, it's been a pretty solid winter, and people need comfort, don't they?
They do. They do. You know, we love winter at Muskox. We're named after the muskox. If you're not familiar with it, they have some of the most insulating fur on the planet. So we like winter, but most importantly, we like helping people to get outside. And we think a great flannel shirt is the start to a good day around the offices of Muskox.
Absolutely true. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you also have now 100% American-made, I love this, Muskox T-shirts. They're here, made with heavyweight cotton, grown in Texas, built in Detroit. It's a limited run, kind of a test run for you. Tell me about it.
Yeah, that's right. So for folks who aren't super familiar with the apparel industry, I mean, we don't own our own factories at Muskox, which is very, very, very common. And, you know, the capital costs to do that are tremendous. And so, you know, we make our flannels. We're very clear. Hey, our fabric is made in Portugal. We've talked about this for a while. We're trying to figure out ways we can do more in the U.S. And we have this great new T-shirt. These are premium T-shirts. These are not cheap T-shirts. I'll be the first one to say that, but they're built to last. You can track the cotton from Texas up to Detroit, and we print it. We make the cut and sew the shirts and do the small graphics that are on there here in Detroit. So it's 100%. American-made T-shirts, and that's something that we are very excited about. It's a limited run, so if this is something that you're interested in, by all means, check it out. So if you decide to purchase one, you can do it sooner rather than later before this short-term run is gone. But we've got some things in the works.
You have beaten the odds. You are a guy who said, I think I'm going to make a clothing company in Detroit, Michigan a few years ago. I mean, I'm not sure if you hit your head that day, but, man, it has worked out. It has worked out. You've been named the best overall flannel by Gear Junkie magazine years and years in a row. You're obviously, we're big fans here at the program, and the entire staff has these shirts. So now you're adding 100% American-made products, working hard every day to do that. I tip my hat to you. And you give money to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center as an aside, as a bonus, more than $100,000 and climbing. I mean, that's just a great program, Brad.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. I mean, I think it probably was a little bit of a harebrained idea that we had a handful of years ago to think that, a few of us in Detroit could ultimately compete with some of the biggest clothing manufacturers in the globe. But, I think it's just a story of hard work and consistency, right? Get out of bed and get to work every single day. And that's what we've done. We talk about being built to last all the time. And the muskox are animals that are thriving today in Alaska, and there's some Nordic nations as well, but they're survivors and they're built for the long term. And so when you put on a muskox, you can tell that it's quality, it's built for the long term. We're not going to be the flashiest or the sexiest whiz-bang stuff that's out there, but you will see the patterns are great. People really love them, and they're built for the long term. And that's kind of been our perspective. And, we don't necessarily get a lot of news every single day, but we do go to work every day.
Yeah, I don't know, Brad. I think they're pretty sexy. I love muskox shirts, and everybody wears them, and Ivy wears them, and Anthony, we all wear them. By the way, folks, support an American company here today. Visit gomuskox.com/Gruber for $15 off. Use the promo code HEAVYWEIGHT. You can also see those brand new heavyweight T-shirts, all high quality. You'll save $15, by the way, off the muskox flannels by using that promo code HEAVYWEIGHT. And there's a QR code right there on your screen for those of you streaming. You can click right on that, go straight to it. Brad, I am so proud of you every time we talk, because it just seems like you keep putting your nose to the grindstone, shoulder to the wheel. And look, you live in Detroit. No wonder you came up with the best flannels in the world. It's a city that needs flannel shirts. I'll give you the last word.
That's right. Yeah, Detroit's a city that needs flannels, and I think we all need wildlife, and that's one of the things that we're most proud of is we've contributed over $100,000 to American wildlife conservation with our friends at the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. So you get a great shirt, you're supporting great causes, and we appreciate all the support over the years from Gruber Nation. So thanks to everyone listening for your support and believing in a small American company that we can go out there and compete with these giant companies. So we're grateful for all the support.
And Brad, we're proud of you, like I said. Thank you, Brad Hoos, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve.
All right. Again, it's gomuskox.com/Gruber. Use the promo code HEAVYWEIGHT. You're going to save $15. It's not an inexpensive shirt, but you'll have it for the rest of your life. Now, when you get one, send me a note. Email me at stevegruber.com so you can tell me what you think about it. I get so many nice emails about this muskox product. They say, man, it wasn't cheap, but I love it. That's the point. GoMuskox.com/Gruber. $15 off. Use the promo code HEAVYWEIGHT. Trust me, you're worth it. All right? You're worth it. I'll take a break on this Tuesday from Washington, D.C. This is The Steve Gruber Show.
Doesn't slow down because you're tired. And weakness gets exposed. That's why the best take Go Pills. Born for military performance, built for high-pressure days when your brain has to move faster than the chaos. This is neurotransmitter support, helping your mind fire clean signals so you can process data fast, decide fast, and stay locked in when it matters. Packed with safe, proven ingredients designed to boost cognitive performance so you stay sharp under pressure. The most badass military in the world uses this kind of energy every day. Now you can too. From training to eliminate America's enemies to smoke-checking terrorists, Go Pills keep the mission fueled. Real world tested by high-level tactical communities. Now available to you. Greenlight the beast inside. Pop a Go Pill. Scan the QR code or go to gopills.com and use promo code REALAmerica for 15% off. Now is the moment to put your brand in front of an engaged, loyal audience through Real America's Voice. When you advertise on Real America's Voice, you're not just running an ad, you're partnering with trusted voices like Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and other influential hosts. backed by millions of monthly listeners.
What's happening? Because of a real voice, man. I watch it all the time.
Real America's Voice rocks.
Real America's Voice gives sponsors the chance to put their product front and center, displayed on screen and highlighted by our anchors during exclusive segments and live events.
Head to freetrumpknife.com.
This means your brand becomes part of the conversation as it happens.
Secure your spot before it's too late.
Join us today and make your brand part of the news conversation that America's viewers trust. Real America's Voice, where your message is seen, heard, and remembered.
This is Tim King, also known as USS Malik, and I love Real America's Voices for its like-minded programming and the chat. Love you guys.
Hi, Pat from Muskegon, Michigan. Why do you love Rav?
Because we've become family. All those Rav live chatters and me.
Here's just a strange story. It popped up yesterday. I said, how does this happen? A woman went missing 24 years ago, right? December 2001. Michelle Hundley Smith disappeared in North Carolina on the 20th of February, right? She was 38 years old. Her husband said that she had left home on the 9th of December 2001 to go Christmas shopping in Virginia. Never came back. People have searched, people have looked, people have, gotten private detectives and never given up. One of her cousins kept screaming, she's alive somewhere. Well, she is, and she was the whole time, obviously. She had just simply moved away. Found alive. She was located the 20th of February in North Carolina. After detectives found new information, she just decided she didn't like her life, I guess. She disappeared. Oh, and by the way, she has kids. She had a husband. She was found in an undisclosed location, alive and well. And at her request, she said, please keep my location anonymous. Please don't tell anybody where I am. Something was odd in that whole scenario, huh? Yeah. Well, the persistence paid off, though. And anyhow, 24 years she's gone. Most people probably assumed she was dead. I wonder if she was declared dead. That's what courts do, after a certain period of time. Don't know. But she's back. Anyhow, strange little story there. She disappeared. Guess she went. How can you hide in this day and age? Something to consider. Anyhow, it is State of the Union Day. I am in Washington, D.C. I'll have more after the break here as we dig into what the president's going to talk about tonight at 9 o'clock. After this, it is the Steve Gruber Show.
Doesn't slow down because you're tired. And weakness gets exposed. That's why the best take Go Pills. Born for military performance, built for high-pressure days when your brain has to move faster than the chaos. This is neurotransmitter support, helping your mind fire clean signals so you can process data fast, decide fast, and stay locked in when it matters. Packed with safe, proven ingredients designed to boost cognitive performance so you stay sharp under pressure. The most badass military in the world uses this kind of energy every day. Now you can too. From training to eliminate America's enemies to smoke-checking terrorists, Go Pills keep the mission fueled. Real-world tested by high-level tactical communities, now available to you. Greenlight the beast inside. Pop a Go Pill. Scan the QR code or go to GoPills.com and use promo code RealAmerica for 15% off. Now is the moment to put your brand in front of an engaged, loyal audience through Real America's Voice.